Hi, class. This is Jesse Barcelone, and I'm going to walk through the steps of how we can work on project one for CMIT 386. So I've had some questions about what should be done, and I'm going to walk through the steps now. The first thing you want to do is you want to have your two virtual machines on. One is Kali, the attack machine. The other one is Metasploitable, which is a very vulnerable machine. It has lots of things that can be exploited, which is our end goal. So the first thing I'm going to do is ping my machine. Now, everyone has a different IP in the class. Your Kali is set to .50 and your Metasploitable is .100. You all are using 10 IPs, and you're using your team number and then student number as the second and third octets. All right, so the first thing I want to do is make sure I can ping. Now, you should do that too, because you can't scan something, you can't ping something. So I can ping, as you can see. You can hit Control-C to stop a ping in Linux. You can also do something like this to specify a certain number of pings. Okay, so it does ask about doing a Zenmap scan. So there's Zenmap. I can first show you an nmap scan, even though that's not on the part of the project. I will show it to you. .100. All right, so you see there's various open ports, and with each port there could be vulnerabilities depending on the version of the software used. These are a lot of open ports. Typically you would see this on a LAN, not on the internet facing machine. Anyway, the directive has, as you see, this shows you a large number of ports that are open. We're going to now do the Zenmap, which is a GUI version of nmap. You just type Zenmap, that's all you do. And for the target IP, you type your IP, which is different than mine. And then you hit the intent scan. So you can see those are the switches that, yeah, I think this needs to be removed. Okay. All right, so, okay, so as you can see, this is what it's going to give me. Scan that. When you pull these profiles down, it shows you different options. I'm going to pause this video while it scans. Actually, my scan didn't take long, but as you see, there's a large number of ports that are open. And there's a description of each port and protocol. Here I see a specific version number. So in the industry, you might do something like this. VSFTPD 2.3.4. And as you can see, even though I haven't finished typing it, there is a suggestion to look for exploits. There's also the CVE there. So even a place to download the exploit. Okay. So anyway, I will also show you that if you want to take this a step further, you can add your -V here for a more possibly verbose thing. If you look in here, there's all kinds of cool information that you don't see in this tab. This tab is nice to show for your screenshot for the report. you can actually add -P0-65535. There's actually 65,536 ports numbered from 0 to 65,535. So if I want, I can do that and click scan, and I will actually see slightly different results. Just to prove that to you, I will take a screenshot of what I got on my first scan. And now I will scan again, and I will also pause the video while that longer scan happens. Okay, great news. The scan is done, finished, and I have a few things to add to you that are important learning points. So if you did the first scan, that was fine. It was adequate. There's a lot of ports open. This thing's like Swiss cheese, but as you can see from this additional scan, there's even more ports open, and many of your students who have taken this class, your UMGC, other UMGC students have exploited some of these ports that didn't show up on the first scan. The other thing I want to tell you about is, if you notice up here, you see a lot of different virtual machines. And yes, I have the newer ones too. The idea here is virtual machines are something that I use and practice with every day, even though I have been using Linux for 23 years and Windows since 1994. So you really have to practice this stuff to become excellent at it over time. Practice every day if you can, even if it's only for a few minutes. Just practice some commands, practice exploiting, practice scanning, because you will tend to forget this stuff over time. Now, I'm adding this flag to the this part of the video, so any instructor can ask the student, hey, did you watch the video yet? Because that's something we want you to do. We want you to take the initiative to use the resources that are provided for you, so you can work through some of this stuff. So the first flag is Zenmap 123. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and look at these results, and wow, there's a lot. I actually, in a screenshot over here, did save you the first scan. And so if we want to see what's a port that we see these down here that showed up that didn't show up in the first scan. So the default scan only scans for most of the well-known ports. It's like 1024 or something that. So anyway, that's Zenmap. That's the first part of the assignment. Now I'm going to pause the video and we're going to switch gears to OpenVAS. Okay, you can save your scan and come back and look at it later. You just click Save Scan, and then it's asking me which one I save. I can save that one. There's different formats you can save it in. If you try to leave the program without saving, I actually use this when I do penetration tests, because if I don't do that, then I tend to have to rescan and I forget things. So that's why I think it's a good idea to save your scan. And you're in this class, so you won't have to rescan. But it's much different when you're doing a real pen test. You don't want to be noisy. So the second part of the hands-on part is to use OpenVAS. So now Zenmap gives you open ports, and it can tell you a little bit about vulnerabilities and stuff, but OpenVAS is really going to say, hey, this is vulnerable to this exploit, and this is a critical score of 10, etc. So it's going to be much more noisy, and it's going to give you a lot more detail. But Zenmap and nmap are a great place to start. So now the next thing I'm going to do is, if you just type open and you hit tab, you can see there's various OpenVAS commands, you just need to run this one, OpenVAS-start. So I'm going to do that. And then it kind of already does something. I think I already had mine running, but we'll see. Yes, we'll see it open. Something happened here. Okay, so it automatically opens this. The password and username were there. I just click login. You might get a security warning or something like that when you first do it. You just click continue, accept the risk. All right, so next thing you're going to do is you can go to scans and then tasks. And then if you click here, there's a task wizard. And then you just type the IP. Remember, your IP ends in .100. And then you click start scan. And then it's going to take a while. I mean, I've known the OpenVAS scans to take up to 40 minutes or so, but it'll tell you when it's working, and when it finishes, you will get your results. Right now, it's just on requested. I'll pause the video while the scan finishes. No point to have you sit here and watch it scan. And the same thing, you know, when you make a video for your final production, don't have the person watching your video, your audience, just sit there during the dead time. This is on 1%. This could take quite a while. I'm going to pause the video until it finishes. I am unpausing the video just to let you know it took forever to get past 1%. Then it was on 3%. I got a couple errors. I refreshed and it's still going. As you can see, it says it's at 52% now. Also, this is something I did that you do not have to do, but I actually went and ran Wireshark just to make sure that something was happening, because I was a little bit in doubt because of the bugginess of OpenVAS. But it is scanning, it's working. I'm going to get a nice report. So I'll pause the video while this finishes up. Here's an example of an error you should get. Do not panic. Just click refresh. You can also, if you ever use this tool, you can also do some things like just log out and log out. I'm just going to go to scans reports and you'll see it's still loading. Give it a minute. Yeah, so I click scans report a couple times and now it's almost done. As you can see now, the scan is so close to being finished, but it's not done. And if I wait, I'll get some extra added valuable information. So I'm just going to wait for it to go to 100%. Okay, everyone, this is the moment we've been waiting for. My scan. Oh, actually, it still has 2% left. Let me just pause the video. Mine's been on 98%, 96% forever. Seems typical when we do the scans on systems in the industry. This happens. It always takes a while to finish up. Okay, everyone, the moment we've been waiting for, it finally says done. Now, also, I'll add this flag here in case your instructor wants to ask you if you watched the video, flag OpenVAS 246. Anyway, the next thing, now that I have this, I would want to click on the report. That's the task. You can see there's a date and time stamp. Now, this is where you really want to focus, and in your first report, talk about what are some of the talk about some of the main critical things that should be looked at. And this also kind of helps you decide, hey, what do I want to cover for the hack? But if you read over some of these, it says basically there's a backdoor here. This is one of the easiest ports to attack, 1524. If I click back, there was this clear text login. So something you just want to discuss that should be fixed and patched for your client. Weak passwords, more clear passwords, dangerous HTTP methods. So yeah, these are all things that you want to, add some of the main ones that they should be addressed in your report. So that's the end of the video. I hope that this has been helpful for you. I'm going to stop the share and then I will stop the recording.